Hey guys and gals, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is BNSF 6951. I am Vinny and I will be your host. This channel is all about model railroading. Model railroad layouts, model railroad layout updates, run and op sessions, tips, tricks, and techniques on scratch building, and kit bashing. I also do some rail fanning, and on Friday nights at 8 p.m. I do a live stream. Everybody is welcome to my live stream. There's a lot of stuff that goes on there, chit chats and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes I'll show a kit build, sometimes we'll just talk about model trains and so on and so forth, guest appearance and all kinds of stuff like that. If this sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button, and after you hit that subscribe button, please hit that bell so you'll get notified when I do a video upload or when I do a live stream. By the way, my live streams are on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And after all of that, and I know I'm asking you guys for an awful lot, but please hit that thumbs up. That'll help my analytics with YouTube. With all that being said, here's a few words from my sponsor, and now we'll get on with the video. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys, now it's time for the next step on your layout. Trees! I have been dealing with Bob for 7 years now, and he does excellent work on his trees. So if you need some trees on your layout, check out Long Shadow's Trees. Tell him the cuz sent you. Alright guys, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of tired of looking at all this white going on here. So I'm going to stop painting this, and I'm going to see how far this one little 3 or 4 ounce jar, what is it, 7.5 ounce jar will get me before I have to go buy some more. 2 of you picked out the color that I thought was going to be the best color for this. And as I'm looking at it, I think it might be a little bit too light. So we're going to try it and see. We're going to do a big portion of this right here. And we'll see what the color looks like when it dries, because it usually dries a bit darker anyhow. So I'm going to be using these cheap brushes I showed you in one of my other videos. This way when I'm finished, I could just put it in the trash and be done with it. So with all that being said, let's get the party started. Be right back. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do some of this, and I actually think that this Sandy Cove, it might be just a little bit too light for the area that I'm doing, because this is more darker earth with lots and lots of vegetation, so it's not really like deserty. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and paint a strip of this right now, and we'll see how that looks, and then we'll continue on from there. So here we go. Alright guys, so I have done from this area right here up to right about here. I hope you guys can see the color difference. I'm sure you can. Anyhow, I'm still thinking it's a bit too light for the area I'm doing, and unfortunately I already did while I was off camera. I already did this section over here, but it could be used as the under cover or the base cover for when I start putting dirt on there, because I am going to put some Arizona dirt on there. Anyhow, let me take a break, let this dry, and let's see what it looks like. I might just go over it with one of the other colors that I showed you guys. Stay tuned, and I will be back in a little bit. Alright guys, while I was off camera, I tried to do a second color here, which is this Arroyo Valley is what it's called. I didn't like that color. This color here is way too light for the area that I'm going to be doing. This would be good down at the bottom where the desert is. And I remember I had this third color, so I decided to try this third color. And this is the exact color I'm going to be using. I don't know what the name it is. You can see I've had it quite a while. In fact, I just got some on my finger. And so I just need to go to Home Depot and get a refill on this, because this is almost empty. Anyhow, enough of the painting for right now, because I think I'm still going to have to put maybe another layer of plaster on top, plaster cloth on top of what I already have here. So, with that being said, this is going to be my first attempt to do some carving, rock carving. So that's going to entail, to me, to mix some plaster of Paris. So let me get everything I need, and we'll be back here in a minute. Alright, there's probably going to be a lot of you guys that are going to yell at me because I might be doing it wrong. But I did watch a couple of videos to see how to do this. On how to mix the plaster, because I had not worked with plaster of Paris, believe it or not, in all my modeling career. And all the ones that I watched, except for one, said to put the water in first. And to make it as thick as I can, because the thicker you make it, the longer you have for work time. So I said, okay, we'll give it a shot. So I do have a deal with water, and I will be using this DAP plaster of Paris, and I have a device to mix it. So with all that being said, oh yeah, to do the carving I got some dental utensils, which were fairly cheap. I got them on Amazon, and I think you can find these. Let's see, I'm going to try and see what I can find before I go ahead and start doing this. Let's see, I probably want something straight to begin with. That looks good, maybe. Well, they all got these little plastic tips on them. Alright, and then there's a chisel kind of one. Yeah, I might use this one. Anyhow, alright, so water first is what they say. So we will do that. And I don't know how much I'm putting in there, but we will start adding the plaster of Paris and see how this works out. The people that I watch to sprinkle it gently onto the water. And I am doing that. Okay. Alright, I'm going to start mixing that and see what that looks like. Oh, this is way watery. Woo, I made a lot, I think. Oh yeah. We're going to have to put a lot more of this in here. Alright, let's see now. Getting thicker. But I added too much water to start with. So note to self, use less water. But I do have 8 pounds of this stuff that I bought because I thought I might be needing it. Okay, this is getting thicker, but still very loose, very, very loose. And I just might have to throw this one away because this guy is almost empty. Hopefully that'll make it thick enough for me right now. Still kind of loose. Yes, I should have used less water. This would be the consistency if I wanted to pour it into rock molds, which should not be a bad idea, but problem is I have to go find my rock molds. And I really wanted to do my own carving. Guess we'll see how much more we can put in here. This might do it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're getting there. Yeah, so for the amount of water I put in there, I had to really put a lot of the plaster in here. It's still not thick enough, but it's getting there. So that's the end of this package. So we'll have to see if we can make it work. Well, I don't think so. I think this is going to run, but let's see. And maybe not. Might be just the right consistency. Huh. All right. Yeah, I guess I must have done something right. Of course, I did use a lot of that plaster in there. Now, again, I don't know how thick this should be, so I'm just gonna kind of lay it on here and mess with it. Any place where I got a flat spot like this where it's going to be hard for me to put any kind of scenery, ground cover, I'm going to be doing this. So this is my first run at doing rock carving, and I can see right now that, ooh, look at that, it's getting hard already. I want to get as much of this on here as I can, so I really didn't waste any of it. See, my arms are getting tired. Alright, well, I might not be able to use all of this, but I'll get most of it. Get this box out of the way. I hope I'm in frame. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Try and get it away from the track, and I'm just pulling up on it right now just to give it the contour, and it's still pliable, really, and the one that's in the bucket is still pliable, so we'll continue on adding down this end here. I'll turn the camera around here in a second, guys. I guess that method worked pretty well. Alright, so let me show you what I got. And unfortunately, I'm going to have a lot of waste here unless I do some on this side. Yeah, let's do some on this side. This is good. It's filling in a lot of spots that were empty for me when I first put the plaster cloth on here, so actually it's a good thing. And I was intending on putting a plaster coat on some of this terrain that I already did. So long as I got it to play with, I'm going to keep playing with it. Yeah. Alright, so my bucket is pretty much cleaned out right now. Alrighty, so now hopefully when I watched Troy Broderick, I think it was, when I watched his, he did a video specifically for me, so I know how to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of flatten most of this out right now, and I'm going to get my little picking utensil. And I guess he just said, scratch at it. I don't know, can you guys, I guess you can see what I'm doing here, right? I got this dental pick and I'm just doing some, I guess you call it cross hatching? I don't know. And then I'm going to go the opposite way, and we'll see how that's all going to look. Now, like I said, probably a lot of you guys are going to scream at me for doing this, but like I said, this is my first time, so I'll have to see how it looks when I get done, and then make any kind of arrangements. I do have a thicker end on this chisel thingy, so let's see if I chisel him out. I think I should wait for it to dry up a bit more, because he was doing it, was kind of, when he was doing it, it was kind of falling out in chunks. So I guess for now, I can just make some marks in here. Again, guys, I don't know exactly how to do this, so it's going to be trial and error for me. I guess I can just kind of, if I don't like it, kind of erase it. Yeah, see, it's getting harder now. I'll show you guys. Somebody will give me some pointers on how to do this. I remember him saying you could wet it a little bit if you needed to. See, this right here is still, it's a lot thicker, so it's taking a longer time to dry. Alright guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with this while I'm off camera, and then when I come up of the way I did it, I will show you guys the method. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly. Alright guys, as you can see, I did some carving in here. The brown on here was an accident. I went to clean off some of this stuff and I had the brush that had this paint on it in the water, and I accidentally picked that one up and got this color on. Anyhow, I am going to attempt now to see if we could put some color onto this. I'm going to be using grays instead of the usual tans and browns, because I believe that the rocks up in this area would probably be more towards the grayish than the brownish. So we use these Walmart paints. This one is called Granite. We use 3 different shades of gray. This one's called Country Gray. And the last one is called Dark Gray. I have put them in these little cups and mixed them with water. And I got a very sloppy brush here. So, with that being said, I think maybe we'll start. Let me see if we can start over here in this corner. Like right here. Maybe raise this up a little bit, like right there. Alright, so basically what I'm going to do, these are washes really. So I'm just going to take it and just run it over. And then what we'll do is we'll take the next color and we'll put the next color on here. And we'll see how that's going to turn out. So that's one. And then we're just going to go right over what we already did. And actually it might even look good with the brown in there. And then we're going to take some of this dark gray and then we're just going to hit it across the top. Let it go down into the grooves. And so we're going to go ahead and continue that across the top here. And we'll see how this looks after it dries up. I already did a piece here and it doesn't look too bad. And I kind of like the brown in there too. Alright. This is very sloppy, so make sure you got your track covered. Kind of liking the brown in there too. It gives it a little bit more depth, I guess, maybe. So that was a watered down stuff. So let's see. Actually, that's not looking too shabby. For my first time, I'm kind of liking this. Alright, now we'll get into this area where there is no brown. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just letting it drip all the way down to the bottom. And I'm doing it like little sections at a time so the paints will mix together. Kind of like it without the brown too. Without the brown looks pretty good. I'm not covering everything. I'm just kind of letting let everything drip down to where I think we'll do some more on here with the darker gray. And then my last deal will be I'll probably use some black to fill in all the crevices and stuff. I don't think that looks too bad actually for my very first time of doing some rock cuts. And let's see, we'll do some over here for the last piece. Uh-oh. Very sloppy. The difference between this gray and the first gray that I put on is just very, very slight. It's this darker gray that makes the difference. Okay, just like that. I don't know if I like it with the brown in there, but we'll see if I can get rid of some of that. Alright, I'm going to do this little piece in the front here too, so we can have some continuity between this side and that side. Try and get them while they're still wet, so they kind of intermingle with each other. It's this darker color that actually brings it out. This is looking good. I like this. This is okay, but I just don't like the brown in there. It's too bad I messed that up. Anyhow, we'll see how that's going to go along. me finish this little piece right here. I think they call doing it this way, I think they call that leopard something or other, leopard dots or leopard something. And usually, if I was using browns, I'd be using ochre as the bottom coat, because that mixes really nice with the browns. I want these rocks to be just a bit darker, so just add a bit more. Alright, well, we'll see how that looks after it dries up, and hopefully it'll look alright. So with all that being said, stay tuned and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I think I got a little carried away here. You know, I was just like a little kid with new toys. I wanted to see what these trees look like on the layout. I did do ground cover on the entire hill here. I did put some grass and stuff up there. I am not finished with this area. I'm still going to do some static grass, some more bushes and stuff like that. But anyhow, I just wanted to see how this all looked and turned out. And to me, I think it looks pretty good. I did splash over this with the wet paintbrush in the dirty water, the dirty paint water, so it kind of blends it in more together. But I think for the first time for me doing rock cuts and all of that, it looks pretty good. Anyhow, with all that being said, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. BNSF 6951 out.